Okay.
Live?
I think we're live, dude. We're live.
How do you know? It says
It says live.
Hey.
Hey,
Let me see here.
how you doing?
Doing a test here, guys.
We're doing a test, and Cultura Beer Garden is the
the guinea pigs.
The guinea pigs.
I made this knucklehead.
What is going on, man? My name is Cash. This is Chris, and this is Benny. Everybody say hello.
What's up, guys?
It's crack-a-lackin', man.
Hello back to you guys out
Can
there.
you
in the
tell we're
Facebook
nervous?
world.
We haven't drank enough beer yet. We're live from Cultura Beer Garden, ladies and gentlemen, on the Border Beer Fest page. Let me know, dude. Are we live?
Yeah, I think we are live. We're seeing it right there.
Is
Yeah.
that us?
Yeah, it is us.
Yeah, that's us, man.
I actually look skinnier on this thing than over there.
Okay, we're live.
I'm freaking out, man.
We're about a 3 or 4 second delay, but we're good.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, basically, the point and the reason for this live stream is to talk craft beer. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a lot of craft beer today. And no better person to do it with than my guys here from Cultura Beer Garden. If you have not been here, what's the address?
1301 San Bernardo.
3301.
And
Oh,
some
13. Oh, crap. 3301 San Bernardo. I'm forgetting because we're actually going to relocate to Salinas Street, which is, I think, 913, correct?
Probably.
Yes.
We should probably find out.
Downtown Laredo, watch
Downtown
out.
Laredo, next to mile 1, caddy corner to
More for this guy.
Rochas El Catan. This is my second beer. Come on.
You guys are actually going to be downtown Laredo, not too far from the Hamilton Hotel, historic area,
that's right.
downtown Laredo. So if you drive by, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually see the building being renovated. Some really cool things. Any kind of surprises you want to share with us? Some things that people can look forward to with the new location and the new move?
I think Benny wants to talk about the upstairs. The upstairs venue
All
we'll
right,
have.
all right. Well, one of my main goals for this is that, I've always wanted to bring like a small venue in Laredo, like kind of like Stubbs or Mohawk. Of course not, those are bigger, right? But I noticed that those small venues always bring these AAA artists like Gary Jones, Dewey Corporation. I was thinking one day, why can't we have that here? Why can't we have a small venue and bring these artists down to Laredo and have music and events going on here like that? So that's our main focus for the upstairs. We want to have focus on a music venue up there where we can bring artists down here
Absolutely.
and have something cool like that.
It'll be a small scale
Yeah.
venue, and also not just limited to music, but possible art shows as well, and also private parties, bridal showers, or just like a conference room if somebody wants to rent it to host a company meeting, company party, and they buy the beers and wine from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of, in many ways, expanding and
Yes.
really just embracing like the downtown. Not just downtown is the heart of the city.
Yes.
For many years, it has been kind of neglected. In my personal opinion,
Yeah, I
here in
agree.
Laredo, and I'm glad to see that that's what it takes. It takes a spirit to bring that heart back to life. So I'm glad to see that Cultura is taking their business downtown, and it's really, I think, is going to be the start of many others. That there's a vibe that's happening right now downtown, man.
Absolutely. And I don't want to say that Cultura is going to not to go against what you said, but I think that absolutely we're going to inject a little more adrenaline to the heart of downtown per se. We hope that we get to do that and bring in more people. But downtown its own has been very active with like On the Rocks has been there for almost 7 years already. And
Sure.
and she struggled a couple of years. When he was just the only really good bar to go to.
Right.
And now that it's getting more, I guess they're getting known a little more. There's more, commerce downtown. Sete Banderas is there now. Excuse me. Dugout's doing more shows as well. They're opening up a few other bars up on the
second
street.
chance is out there too.
Boogaloo, the rooms
Boogaloo.
as well. So there's and then the 201 Gallery always does their poetry slams, and they also bring down bands as well, every once in a while. So
Right.
there's always been that spirit. And when I had Capidoche downtown, that also helped a lot too. So downtown's been happening for better part of 6 years already.
There's even comedy downtown.
Yeah,
which I've been wanting to check out.
Now there's comedy at Happy Hour. Yeah.
I want to check that out.
So all that's fantastic. So I mean, like that's already happening. That's not, I guess, for us. I didn't see it as like, oh, we're gonna be a part of that. Which yes, we will in a sense, but we are gonna stand our own, in a sense where, how can I say this? We'll be doing our own thing, but we'll be close enough where you can kind of bar hop to these places.
Absolutely.
You know, like It Street is basically where all these bars I just
Yeah,
mentioned
no, you
from.
guys are gonna have your definitely. You guys have, I think, have your own identity. Everybody that you know, everybody has their own certain little, their own vibe. But I think in general, just having, you know, a craft beer authority,
Okay.
you know, a person that, or a business where you can go and try different beers, and having you guys downtown is going to be, I think, just a nice little addition to the mix of things that's already happening downtown, with obviously your own identity. And so it's going to be really nice to see what comes of that. And the start date for you guys to open doors downtown is what?
Well, we're hoping the latter of May, if not early June.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
they're-
summer 2018, ladies and
They're
gentlemen.
rocking and rolling that building so freaking fast. It's incredible. It's really
Yeah.
incredible.
So, one of the reasons we came out to Cultura Beer Garden today, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously the beer. Border Beer Fest wouldn't be Border Beer Fest without the beer.
Yeah.
And so our mission is to highlight different retailers here in the city who specialize in craft beer. And so I thought Chris was the authority to come and speak to about
self-proclaimed, okay, guys?
the self-proclaimed craft beer guru here in Laredo, Texas.
Thank you. I like that.
So I'm gonna switch cameras here for a second, man, because I wanna let me just
Showcase what we got here.
Let's get a up close and personal shot here of what we're gonna be sampling today.
Let's see here. So we got the Real Ale Brewery's Grapefruit Goza, which is a really light, refreshing beer. You know, for the spring and now that, you know, it's getting hot in Laredo.
I thought it said goose. Sorry.
It's
Hinche
if
Mexicano.
you read it, you know, it says goose. You know,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
pronounced Goza.
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 Goza?
Goza. So,
Real ale?
there he goes her.
Okay.
So basically, a Goza style beer is just a light beer. In Germany, that they call that Goza is a
Right.
light beer.
Right.
You know, they
now, and real ale is
Blanco, Texas.
Blanco, Texas, San Antonio, just outside San Antonio.
In between, yeah, I mean, it's the hill country.
Hill
That's
country,
for sure.
right.
It's the hill country. Really awesome brewery. They've been expanding these past few years. I remember when they had their 10-year anniversary. Awesome.
Yeah.
Really friendly dudes. Friendly company in general. And beer's fantastic. I've been a fan of theirs for a long time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the company decided. Why do you think they released this style of beer?
There's two that I've been noticing in the past few years that have become kind of trendy in the continental United States, which is the Goza and the Hells. And I did a little research on that some months back because I was still new to this as well, as far as, you know, these style of beers. My go-to has always been an IPA. Now I can say that my go-to would have to be either a Hells or a Goza, only because they're so crisp and refreshing and they're light, you know. But there's other breweries, not just in Texas, that are doing Gozas or Hellas beers, but also Avery's had done, or still is, doing their lime Goza. There's another one that was doing something else. I think Avery was from Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. A few other states as well are doing
And
Gozas.
now in terms of Goza, it says German style wheat beer. Now, when I think of wheat beer, I think of Hefeweizen. What's the difference between this Goza beer and a Hefeweizen?
The grain, basically the grains
Okay.
in a Goza. So anywhere between. Okay, so first and foremost, with the Hefeweizen, you're gonna get that full flavor. You get the banana notes. You're gonna get the clove. It's still, you know, in tradition of a traditional Hefeweizen.
Right.
For me, a really good Hefeweizen would be like Big Bend. Big Bend's
Okay.
National Park is a really good Hefeweizen. I love that beer.
Shouts out to Big Ben.
Yeah, for sure. They're my homies. Now, with the Goza, they only add half of what you would add to your traditional Pilsner of grains. Only half the grains go into this beer, which makes it a lighter beer.
Okay.
In that aspect where it's lighter in color.
Okay.
You know, so have it be like they put this much wheat in the Hefeweizen, they'll only put half of it in this one.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
the difference mainly. That's the main difference.
So it's
basically.
the flavor is just gonna it's the flavor of a Hefeweizen cut in half.
without the addition
with-
of the certain hops they use and certain
Gotcha.
spices they would use to make it a traditional Hefeweizen. Now this bad boy has grapefruit in it, and what's really exciting about this series this year is that Real Ale is going to be. This is their first one for spring that they released, the grapefruit goza. Then in the summer, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have a lemon goza, and then for the fall, they're going to have a cranberry goza. So,
Nice.
fuck man, I
Sounds good.
can't wait for the cranberry one.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. So, what's next on the list here?
So from Revolver, we have the Sidewinder. Let me just get some of this this sweat off the beer.
Oh.
Ooh, sexy. So this is,
Wipe it off.
so this is the Sidewinder, the Southwest Pale Ale. And this bad boy is brewed with agave nectar, maize, citrus, and spice.
Ooh, they're going for they're going for the Mexican in all of us, buddy.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of like your Tex-Mex type of pale ale, which I really enjoy. We had this in bottle a few months ago. It didn't really sell. People were not really
They weren't feeling.
they weren't feeling it, man. And I was trying to get it on tap to kind of give samples out and whatnot, and then they re-released it in can form very recently. So, and I was back in our fridge, and it's been selling pretty good now. I guess people just gravitate more towards the cans here than the bottles. And it doesn't really make a difference, but I mean,
Right.
they want to get a can. Sorry.
And what I'm loving is the commitment so far to Texas craft beer because
Yes.
this is DFW represent right here. I mean, this Revolver is coming out of the DFW Dallas Fort Worth area. I remember when they were self-distributing, at a time where Texas beer laws were kind of restricting some of the smaller breweries. Craft beer was just starting, and
Yeah.
I remember these guys at the festivals really pushing their product. So it's kind of cool to see them now. And when I spoke to them, they're like, "Well, I don't know about Laredo. It's kind of far off from Dallas. I don't know if we'll ever get down there." A few years later, now we're finding this stuff here
Yeah.
at Cultura Beer Garden. So pretty cool to see that these smaller craft breweries are now increasing their keg or their barrel output.
Yeah.
To reach places far and wide like Laredo. So it's cool to see that you guys have it here.
That's fantastic. And also, on the same token, as talking about smaller breweries that self-distribute, we are also trying our best to find those and try to find a way to bring them down to Laredo. Just recently, Guadalupe Brewery contacted a few of the bars here in Laredo. We were one of them, Capataz, and also Stretch. And we all signed on and said, absolutely, we're down to get your beers down here. And the owner of the brewery and her keg slinger, they came down to Laredo from New Braunfels. And she personally came in to meet every single new contract that she, was going to open up with us, and want to see the people in person and talk to us. And Ana Luna is her name, and she is fantastic. Sweet lady. And I'm looking forward to do more business with her for sure, and also to do the same with other small breweries in Texas.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. That self-distribute.
And I think that's where it all begins. Is anybody that's out there watching, needs to explore and really just dive into the culture, because once you dive in, it's kind of like, I think you're going to be amazed at all the different flavors. Like, it's an unlimited amount of flavor that is out there. Whether you like sweet beer, you like dark beer, you like light beer, you like fruity beer. There's something for everybody in when it comes to beer. That's what I love about
Craft beer.
Craft beer.
Yeah.
I mean, there is. I mean, and the crazy thing is that these guys are, the brewers aren't scared to mix these different grains with each other and just trip you out with like this agave nectar and maize.
Yeah.
What
the maize in there, you can taste it. It's fantastic. It's great, man. And I was just at Guadalupe Brewery a few weeks ago in New Braunfels, and I had a Tex-Mex IPA that was brewed with chile piquin. Phenomenal. It was great. And also I had a German chocolate cake stout that was just, oh my god.
So we've
Two
got the
thumbs
Goza, we've got the revolvers.
Yeah, we got the Sidewinder.
Sidewinder, and then
This is one of my personal favorites. This is Guns N' Oil from Austin, and that's their black lager. And what I really like about this black lager is that it's only 4% ABV. So
I can drink this. Basically, I can smoke a brisket all day long.
While
Drink
drinking
this,
this
and
bad
I can
boy.
drink it all day long, and
Oh, yeah.
I should be okay.
yes,
Sounds good.
and the color in this thing is it's as black as any stout you ever have, but it's so freaking light. Like, it's deceiving. Like, you think a lot of people think, okay, dark colored beers are gonna be so strong, and oh my god, like I'm gonna get so drunk. Sometimes, yes, but there's like this black lager that also became very popular, and also Mother and Lager from Karbach. They have a black lager as well. Roar and Sons has their Ugly Pub, which is another black lager.
Good one.
And there's another one that should be coming out soon. Oh yes, from Legal Draft, their Black Letter, I think it's called, or Black Letter Law, something like that. That's their black lager. So it's another one of the trendier beer styles that's out right now in the craft world.
Awesome. So, what are we going to crack open first?
You tell me, man. Pick
I don't
color.
know. Let's see what people are saying. I want to check out the comments. Shouts out to Juan Alvarado, Luis Cavazos, Luis Olivera, Esteban Garcia, JG Gonzalez, Jimenez, Quique Santos. Shouts out to you guys for checking in with us. We appreciate it. And Valerie Contreras, we appreciate y'all.
She's outside.
She's out there checking us out. Okay, great. So Val, shouts out to you, girl.
Check you later.
Check you later. All right. So, you know what, dude? Let's go with the Goza.
Let's go with the Goza.
Let's go with the
Looking
Goza.
kind of light myself here, so
Yeah.
a little thirsty. All this talking gets me parched,
Wait.
Oh, my bad. I'm a
Let's
lefty
get it.
too, man.
Sorry.
Maybe
Hold
I'll
on.
have this guy pour it because I'm literally you're gonna get my iWatch. Here,
That
buddy.
way, no. I watch.
Apple Watch, no, I watch.
It's an iWatch. That's what it's
iWatch.
called.
Alright.
iWatch.
And sir, you've been kind of silent over there.
Oh, it was my first time.
Bien calladito.
It's 'cause
No,
I'm not getting shy.
I was
not
like,
even shy.
I'm not lying. I was like looking at the feedback there. I was like, okay, there's a close up of the beer. That's maybe gives me a chance to escape and get a refill.
well, not anymore,
But
sir.
when
You
I-
are committed.
Yeah, now it's
It's because Benny. This is his time of going to bed, guys. His sleeping hours. 10
time to go
o'clock.
Mimi's,
It's time to go Mimi's. So he's already passing out.
but
Alright.
well, let me try doing this pour here because I'm kind of clumsy when it comes to the kitchen. That's why you'll see me back there.
You just tilt the glass a little bit.
Okay,
You'll be alright.
alright.
Yeah, you'll be alright.
You want to guide me with your hands like a ghost?
You know what, brother? Why don't we show everybody what is the proper way to pour a beer? Because I don't know. I'm a particular when I see someone not pour a beer properly.
Oh, yeah.
Could you please show everybody out there what is the proper way?
Well, I mean, you gotta tilt that cup, and
Okay.
slowly pour. You get that nice little,
So there's got to be a tilt, and explain why the reason for the tilt.
I'll let Chris do that because right now I'm busy.
He has to concentrate.
I have to concentrate.
Maybe
no head.
Mainly the carbonation. I hate it when mofos do this. Boom, 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 boom,
Oh, yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And it's just so much foam, and they're just like walking around with their foamy cup beer. I'm like, bro, you're gonna have gas later.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're gonna get bloated, and you're gonna get gas,
Beer
and you're not gonna
farts.
feel good. I guarantee within 2 hours.
He's using the PC term gas. Beer farts.
So yeah,
Beer
it's
fart.
the carbonation. You want to.
I poured the whole beer.
They gave me everything.
Look, guys, if you're gonna go to the beer garden, don't get a beer poured from this guy.
So
As for me,
all right. Tell me a little bit about when we're trying a beer for the very, very first time. Before I try this, what should I do? A lot of beer connoisseurs out there will compare beer sampling to wine tasting,
Yeah.
or wine sampling. Sniff, kind of, move it around a little bit. You know, what is the word? Oxygenate.
Alchemate.
Alchemate.
Let it alchemate, but this is not a fine red wine, guys. This is a Goza, you know. So you're not gonna go through all that. Okay, look. First and foremost, I'll tell you right now on Facebook, I am not a beer connoisseur in that sense. Where like I'm gonna be like doing this.
You're my beer connoisseur.
I'm from the barrio, okay. I grew up drinking fucking Miller High Life. All right, I still drink Miller High Life, you know, when you know my pocket's kind of light. So not so much nowadays. Now that I have a bar, I guess. But I mean, you know, whatever. So, anyways, two things I would look for. It depends, you know. I remember when I used to go to these beer tastings at Thellman's, and that's where I met one of my good friends now, JJ Centero, and he had a few beers out there, and he just poured you a little sample and whatnot. So, first thing I would do, I get the cup and smell it, you know, and then get I guess familiar with what it is. Okay, so I get the bottle. Okay, so it's a black lager. In this case, what's the can, Benny? Oh. In this case, we have, you know, the water.
Ya se chingó.
The grapefruit Goza. The grapefruit Goza. And then so then get familiar with what it is. Let's do a fountain for Benny.
All right.
Here, a little bit in there for you, buddy. And we're pouring it incorrectly, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, see how you get a little bit of head there when you pour it incorrect?
Okay. And some head is good, you know, but well, it depends on the style of beer. This beer is not going to give you that much head. That's where, as opposed to like a stout where you want something, you know, a little bit of head to kind of just taste it, smell it, and get like a creamy aspect to the beer before you try the actual liquid.
So we're going to sniff it.
Sniff it first, you know, and then you know, because you saw the can and we showed you a close-up, that this is a grapefruit Goza.
And you can smell the grapefruit. You can smell a little bit of it.
You know, and once you taste it, you get a hint of sourness from the grapefruit, a little bit of the pith bitterness. It's not from the hop, it's actually from the pith of the grapefruit, and which is the white part of the grapefruit, which is one of my favorite parts of the grapefruit, and a little sourness from the style of beer that it is, the Goza.
What hits me first though is the citrus. Like the citrus hits me first, and then I get that sourness from that.
I love that sourness.
Yeah,
that sourness, really just a nice finish to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, these ice cold are very refreshing.
Yeah, especially on days like this that we've had here in Laredo.
Oh yeah.
Where now we're approaching summer. Anybody that is from Laredo, you know, shouts out to all of our fans from out of town that don't live in Laredo. You're blessed in that sense, in that regard. But we will definitely embrace the sun as best as we can, and there's no better way to do it than with either a Hefeweizen, a citrusy beer. The Goza is definitely a nice finish to the hot day that we had today. With 110 degree weather that we're bracing for this summer, 120 at our peak, we're definitely loving this beer. So props to Real Ale for this Goza.
The Real, yeah, I really, really enjoy this beer. It's fantastic.
Awesome. So now let's move on to our next one.
Yeah.
What are we?
I'm gonna say let's go with the black lager.
Okay. Why do you want to go with the black lager? Is there a specific reason to contrast the flavor, or?
Well, yes, definitely for contrast purposes, because this one has has a few sour notes to it, and this one as well. It's got some citrus and spice in it, in a sense where let's do this, and then we go back to a sour beer. Well, this is not a sour beer, but it has citrus in it, so I would say start with something that's a little more maltier, because this pale ale is not that malty. So,
okay.
There we go. And I want you guys to see the color, because it really is phenomenal. I'll pour this one, Benny.
Shouts out to Derek. Said a little bit of head is very good.
Thank you, Derek.
I don't know which Derek that is.
Well, there you go, Derek. You got yourself a little bit of head.
Derek, go to bed.
Yeah,
there.
Should be watching the show, Derek.
There have been 290 TABC infringements since the beginning of this video.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Gabriel, thank you very much. We're very familiar with the law, but no law has been broken while filming this video. Thank you so much. We always appreciate everybody out there giving us their feedback on that. Mario and Lupe Vasquez, shouts out to you guys. Also, big ups to Lily Garcia, Mav, we see you. Tracy, that's my wife. Hey, honey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm drinking on a Monday night.
Better get home soon.
I'll be home soon. Yeah, anyway. No, I'm just kidding. No. German chocolate cake stout. What? Okay.
That's right. Lupe Brewery, New Braunfels.
Okay. She knows something I don't. So shouts out to Jose Luis Reyes. We appreciate you guys checking in with the live stream. So let's keep it going, man. We're looking at this is the Black Lager from Guns
right
N'
here.
Oil, and Guns N' Oil is out of West Texas. Where specifically in West Texas?
Actually, Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Austin,
yes,
Texas.
ATX, Cap City. What up, Austin? All right, and so tell me a little bit about the beer, bro. What went into this little concoction here?
Well, it's basically a back lager, and it doesn't get any better than this one. I've had a few that are very malty in flavor. It's not bad, but drinkability after a while, it just kind of gets gumpy, or gummy in your mouth. It's like, what do you call that? Palagoso?
Yeah.
Yeah, after a while. So that's kind of how I feel about certain stouts. This bad boy does not have any of those problems. So.
What is it? Chris? Do you know the difference between like the stout and the black lager in terms of what happens in the fermentation process or the brewing process? Because some of the grains are very similar because they're roasted.
The roasted malts. That's where you get the color. Mm-hmm. You essentially get the color from the roasted malts. Now, lagers are usually fermented, or they should be fermented anywhere below 34 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
In fridge, something like that. Or it's between 34 and 42, I think. Something like that. So don't quote me on this. I'm just getting into brewing beer. So I'm still learning as well in that aspect. But lagers are supposed to be cold fermented. So that's what it's called. It's lagering. That's the name of the process. Lagering. And then you get the name lager. So anywho, so you get the color from the roasted malts, which is the same situation when you do a stout, but also the stouts are fermented in room temperature, areas, dark, cool space, so you don't have to cold ferment those. Different yeast strain maybe, as far as to answer your question, more grains, more flavors,
and you talked a little bit about home brewing.
Yeast, a yeast strain.
When making a beer, you need the grain.
Yeah.
You need the yeast.
Yeah.
You need the
hops, water,
and time.
Sugar.
Sugar. Which is the yeast.
No, the yeast and the sugar. The yeast in the fermenting process, from what I've been learning, is that the yeast ferments, which starts to create your alcohol.
Right.
And then you add, in secondary fermentation, you add the sugar, and then the yeast eats the sugar to create carbonation.
There you go. Yeah. That's how you get your carbonation.
That's the second fermentation.
Second fermentation. Yeah. And fermentation is where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes time. Different beers take longer and some are shorter. IPAs have a real fast turnaround and fermentation. I believe it's about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, depends on the style. Lagers take up to a month. Imperial stouts can take up to 6 months maybe, 4 to 6 months. I don't know. But those take a long time.
And an imperial stout, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you wondering, will definitely put you to bed early. I mean, what's the highest ABV content that you've seen on an imperial?
Oh man, we had the barrel aged imperial stout from Big Ben, the Morpholites or Marfa Sky.
Yeah, Dark Sky.
No, dark. Okay, no, it was the Morpholites. The Morpholites barrel aged imperial stout. That was, I think, 14%.
Wow, yeah, 12, 14.
Yeah, between 12 and 14. The Dark Sky was a porter. That was 8%. That was fantastic. I love the Dark Sky. But that was, it was up there. And then we also had the from Carbach, the barrel aged Hellfire.
That was espresso.
That one
Espresso.
espresso. Yeah, espresso. Now,
I think that's what, right around, hanging around 14, just under 14.
something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So those are pretty high up there.
And when we're talking about these numbers of 14% ABV content, alcohol by volume, Memphis Strophalis from Avery Brewing Company, that has been the strongest beer I've ever tried.
What was the number on that?
Right around 17.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
What's that one from Sam Adams that they release like every few years?
29%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's illegal ones. Like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
illegal in like 49 states.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So,
Holy crap. No.
so yeah, when thinking about in terms of alcohol content, right now we're at 4.
Yes.
This is 4%.
Very light.
Once you start going higher up, that's where the magic happens for you on a Monday morning and wondering why I have a headache. It's probably because you had too much to drink. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping around and looking for different craft beers to try. The lower the ABV, the lower the alcohol by volume. The higher the ABV, chances are you're 1 or 2, you're going to be all right for the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And always,
in terms
in
of
moderation, folks.
in terms of this beer, like while we're I know we've been trying this, and while I'm drinking it, I'm like just kind of tasting a lot of the malt.
Yes.
Like it's very malty.
Yeah. But it's not, I think sometimes when it's too malty, the best way I can describe it is like it tastes sugary, like brown sugar, molasses-esque type of flavor. This has nothing on that. This is a clean beer to have on a regular, like a Monday night,
Monday night, yeah, that's what we're doing.
You can have a couple of them, and you go to bed, but feeling great the next day. So, But what do you think about the flavor?
So no, I mean I just think this is I think it's a great beer. Guns and Oil, Black Lager. Shouts out to GNO.
Absolutely.
Just a great brew.
Cheers, guys.
Something very easy to drink. Even though it's dark, typically dark beers are associated with a high alcohol by volume. Very easy to drink, very, very smooth, and
It's got some coffee notes to it too when you smell it. I love it. This is my favorite part of this can back here. It's where is it? Yeah, there it is. Hashtag Rise and Grind. We find it complements steak and eggs beautifully. Rise and Grind. And it has a hashtag here somewhere saying Rise and Grind.
and
So it's pretty cool.
And that's one of the cool things that I think people should kind of keep in mind is also that beer, you complement beer with food.
Oh yeah.
The right beer, the right maybe it's steak and eggs, maybe it's tacos, barbacoa. I don't know. I'm just throwing.
That would go good with barbacoa.
This actually would. Actually, talking about barbacoa, let's jump into the next one, which is this bad boy right here.
Oh, the Sidewinder.
The Sidewinder.
Mice.
Maize and agave nectar. I'm really just kind of blown away by this little drink here. Interested in really just kind of cracking that one open and trying it.
Yeah, here we go.
If you notice, we're starting to stutter. Apparently, we've had too much beer.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no.
We're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're at. Oh, there we go. We got a foamer. All right, let me see. We have a.
It's excited. It got excited. You touched it, Chris.
I know, right? He's like, hey. I don't know what happened there, folks. Here, so we get a quick towel real quick.
No, it's all good, but
Scoop it up.
Scoop it, party down. So in terms of this beer, Chris, do you think from a marketing, marketing standpoint or whatever, everybody's watching you clean the bar.
Don't let Chris pour your beers.
That's a true entrepreneur right there, ladies and gentlemen. A person.
You want a job done right, you do it yourself.
You do it yourself. Yeah. So I think from a marketing standpoint or branding standpoint, you think they're trying to reach the brewers, or maybe trying to reach out to those who, you know, can appreciate these types of flavor, agave nectar, maize.
Of course.
Or you think? I think maybe they wanted to reach out to us Latinos,
like Tex-Mex,
Tex-Mex,
South Texas, you know.
or South Texans.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it says here Southwest Pale Ale, and then we got to think Texas, and then Southwest. What would be Southwest for you in Texas? You know,
Southwest.
Del Rio, maybe.
No. Southwest, yeah, definitely. I think when I think of Southwest, I think of Arizona. I think of New Mexico.
No, but in Texas though. I mean,
In
yes.
Texas?
Yeah,
Oh, but if we
in
go
Southwest,
Texas,
yeah.
if we go
States,
in
yeah.
the state of Texas, Southwest, I tend to think of Del Rio, Eagle Pass.
Maybe Laredo.
A little bit of Laredo.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody riding up and down 83, basically.
Yeah, I think one, it's a Texas brew, you know, something
Right.
as far as what you're saying, as far as inspiration to make this, or who are they trying to cater to with this beer. Let's keep it simple. People that eat tacos. You know, this beer, no, I'm telling you the truth, because this beer goes fantastic with tacos. I had it the other night with the food truck out here, Mula's food truck, with some tacos, and this beer on the side, forget it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I saw the picture on their brewery website and they pair it with tacos, but it really does go good with tacos, so
Yeah.
I recommend it.
And so that's kind of the thing that you guys want to kind of keep in mind. What kind of beer are you drinking along with your food? If you're pairing your beer with food, or thinking about, oh, you know, it's Saturday night, pues vamos a hacer la carnita or whatever, but it's actually, you know, what kind of beer are you going to pair with that carnita asada? And, you know, this may be the beer that you want to do it with. Not just the typical stuff that, you know, grandma and grandpa and mom and dad used to drink. You know,
Like,
open your mind, expand your palate, and try something different. And that's what this whole show has been all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just three guys, you know, sitting behind a bar drinking beer. It's actually to invite you out here to Cultura. Come try some of these beers. Come take a chance. Roll the dice, baby. Take a risk. And really just open your mind to a different flavor of beer. Whether it's here at Cultura, or it's out of town, or just going to a brewery and visiting a brewery. You know, when's the last time you told your lady, hey, vieja, ándale, vámonos, but brewery, you know, whatever. There's breweries from here all the way up, well, not here in Laredo, but where there used to be. You know, back in the 1800s, history of beer, visit borderbeerfest.com. All right, so
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
yeah, the history of beer. Back in the 1800s, a guy by the name of J.J. Knott had a brewery in downtown Laredo.
Whoa.
It was in a basement, ladies and gentlemen, and he used to make his own beer and serve it to the patrons in downtown Laredo.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I'm
So-
looking to that.
That's great.
You said it's on Beer Fest?
They can go to the Historical Commission. I've actually got that information from the Historical Commission, Webb County Historical Society, Border Heritage, and all those guys downtown.
The Heritage Foundation.
So shouts out to them. We actually did a little bit of research to add it to our History of Beer segment. If you go to the beer festival, to Border Beer Fest, you'll see some different things like cooking with beer and home brewing, so people learn how to make beer. And one of the other things that we have, aside from the Beer Olympics, which is games that we usually play with beer, is the history of beer. So it kind of talks about,
that's awesome.
Talks a little bit about beer and how beer had an impact on the societies around the world, from the ancient Egyptians all the way to our present day, where, you know, the very first beer made inside the White House was under the Obama administration.
No way.
Yeah. So look it up.
What kind of beer was it?
It was a honey wheat.
Honey wheat.
Yeah, it's a honey wheat.
I was going to say IPA, only because I was a little disappointed when I went to Chicago. I think it was in October of last year. And I get there, and there's all these microbreweries and, you know, brew pubs, mainly brew pubs. And So I'm there. I know it's delicious. It's really good. Have you had it already?
Yeah. It is.
And everywhere I went, they had an array of different styles of IPAs. I'm like, you guys have no Bach here? You don't got a stout or give me some variety. Okay, maybe it was the first one, and I went to another one and another one and another one, and it's all IPAs. I'm just like, okay, I guess Chicago, what do they call it?
They do their own
Chicagoans,
thing,
or
yeah.
is that what they call them? People from Chicago.
Chicagoans.
I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but people from Chicago, I guess like IPAs right now. It's IPAs are very trendy. They have been very trendy for many years.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
It's my favorite beer.
it's mine too. But I appreciate craft beer in Texas because they really do try different styles of beers. The Goza, the Pale Ales, or the Helles. Any sort of stout. That you could think of is probably been done already in Texas, in my opinion.
So because of the history.
I think so. I think so because those kind of beers, I guess going back, speaking of history, going back to settlers that came in, German settlers, Czech settlers,
From back in the time when the Spanish government was granting land, giving people land, like they were like, hey, go to the Newfoundland and settle and discover this land and see what you can make out of this land. We'll give you the land. Go settle. So Germans, Czechs, all these different cultures coming together, and that's where a lot of these styles come from, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of these German cultural roots are infused into the very beer that you probably drink every single day and probably don't even know about it. And so a lot of that heritage is still very within a lot of these brewers that we're running across, and that's probably where this is coming from. Somebody along the way, one of the brewers there at Real Ale said, you know what? La abuelita, give me the recipe for, how to make tortillas de maíz or whatever. Some crazy, or maybe he remembered, growing up and, la abuelito having just a little bit of tequila, not a whole lot, just a little thing to kind of calm the nerves and you know what, I'm going to throw that into a beer. And now we've got
the nectar.
It's good, right?
We've got this whole thing kind of just coming together, and now you got this beautiful thing called beer.
Fantastic, a sidewinder. It's fantastic. But yeah, going back to settlers and whatnot, all of Mexican recipes or Mexican beer recipes come from the same, from Czech immigrants, French immigrants, German immigrants. All the beer, Indio, Dos Equis. Come on, Indio's a darker beer. You think the Indios in Mexico were making that kind of beer? No. They were making tequila, but we're talking about beer. So, yes, absolutely. And that's why Mexican beers are some of my favorite beers, have been for a lot of my adult life. So, because of that, I've known this for a while, and I appreciate that. And the same thing goes with Mexican food, because you have all these, you have Asians, coming in and to Mexico. It's just like a melting pot of so many races. And, Anglos that came in as well, they brought their style of food, or even just them bringing in cattle or whatever, and certain plants, and then you have bolillos bread that came from French, so but you have a torta and it's in a bolillo bread, which is the French bread. Get it? So,
even
fantastic, yeah.
Like
even the music in Texas,
accordions, they come from
polka. Where do you get Tejano from?
Yeah,
from old style polka music from the old world.
It's cool, man. It's cool how
it's fantastic.
It just ends up in one place.
But now I became Tejano, so now I hear.
That's what we're missing right now.
What was the song you were humming?
Ramon. No.
What was that?
Aniceto Molina.
Yeah,
En paz descanse. Yeah. Yo soy el campanero.
We're in sync, folks.
Yes. So, actually, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about, real quick, before we end this live broadcast. You know what, though? Let's shout everybody out real quick.
Okay.
Okay, Val, Kendra, Tracy, Frank. Goose Island has great non-IPA beers.
Frank, go to bed. You got to work early tomorrow. he's an IPA hater.
Is that Frank Martinez?
Yes.
Probably right there.
What? What?
Look,
Man?
yes,
Now, look, now,
yes. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go
But
ahead.
yes, Goose Island does have a variety of beers, but they're not a microbrewery, and I was looking for brew pubs. And by the way, you were next to me when we went to the brew pubs. So shut your face.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can't agree with you on that one, Frank. Sorry. What up, Oscar, Family Chevrolet? Shouts out to my people out there checking in. Derek, still checking in.
I was gonna say it already.
Geek and Melissa, shouts out to you guys. Thank you so much for everybody, man. Showing love. Lots of people
Thank you,
coming
guys.
in,
Whoa, thank you.
showing so much love. David Diaz Heredia. Hey, David, yes. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he makes his own beer, and I've tried it. Claudia Herrera, Yani Rars Adios Pantalones.
Actually, it should be coming very soon. I've been talking to LNF about that, or my dude Bo from LNF.
Shout out, Bo.
Shout out Bo. Awesome. And Jaime as well. Did a
Shout out, Jaime.
a great, fantastic job at LNF. And so Bo's trying to bring me down more of Roaring Sons. We had the Texas Independence Day celebration here, where he brought me the Texas Red from Roaring Sons, and also the which one was it, Benny? The other one he brought? Oh, the Blonde.
Oh yeah.
The Roaring Sons Blonde, and I wanted him to bring me that one down, but they I don't know. They have to figure it out in their distribution
and
area.
just to give you an insight into what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that Laredo is still an emerging market as far as craft beer goes.
Absolutely.
So don't be mad, be patient. These guys, just like everybody else, just like Border Beer Fest, just like everybody else, is working hard to bring you as many different flavors from as many different breweries as possible. It is a work in progress. Remember, Laredo is one of those markets that was not seen as a consumer of craft beer for many years, and now it's just starting to come along. So give it time. It's happening. Come out here to Cultura. They're always adding on different beers to their roster, so it's just a matter of coming by, experimenting, and trying different beers. And just to add a little bit to the Rar & Sons mix, Rar & Sons was, again, just like Real Ale, just like Revolver, they were independent brewers, ladies and gentlemen, that didn't foresee the growth and the boom of craft beer and the demand for it. And so, as a small organization, it was very hard to keep up with that demand. And so Rar & Sons became very popular within its area, Dallas-Fort Worth, and has slowly started to expand. And so now from all the way from Dallas, they're down here being distributed. So it's a big deal. It takes time, and there's a lot of laws blocking that expansion, but slowly but surely they're making their way down to us, and I think it's great that you guys are making moves to kind of showcase all that different flavor out here, man.
I want to say that thanks to you all, it's becoming an emerging market, because you guys are supporting the craft beer, beers that everyone's trying to bring down to Laredo.
And it's not just here at Cultura Beer Garden. Like, we appreciate everyone that comes in and asks any of us our questions that are working behind the bar. Hey, what does this taste like, and what do you recommend? That's great, because you come in here with an open mind and you want to try something. But also shout out to the other bars that are also trying to bring in craft beer.
Yes.
Capataz is
Cold
doing
Brew.
a great job too. Cold Brew starting to bring in some craft
Shouts
as
out.
well. Scratch has been bringing
FN.
down some stuff. Yeah, for real, you guys are awesome, man. Who else is bringing in craft in Laredo?
Man, even the high-end restaurants, man, are recognizing what's going on.
Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings,
And the
shouts
Carinos
out to you.
Tavern.
The Tavern.
Carinos, Kathy and her staff out there. So shouts out to everybody.
Draft House, we love you guys. We love you guys.
Draft
Alamo,
House
can't
too.
forget about Alamo Draft House. There's just everybody coming together, and there's no. It's really. I know a lot of people are like expecting you, like, yo, no, not our no. But I think at the end of the day, I think it really comes down just to the love of beer.
Everyone's together, man.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I mean, we're not selfish people, Like,
Absolutely, bro.
we want to spread the wealth, Like, I've been trying to bring down Busted Sando. I haven't had time, but I've been wanting to reach for Busted Sando Brewery from San Antonio, and I've been wanting to go reach out to Scratch, Capataz, or anybody else that would want to make their time worthwhile to come down, and then we serve the beers that they bring to us, So it's one of those things where, like, we kind of work together, to bring down more Texas craft to Laredo, to South Texas Laredo, or South Texas in general, but mainly Laredo.
and to anybody watching, remember, it's just 3 of us, but anybody out there watching that really just wants to, maybe you tried something that you cannot find out of town and you can't find it here in Laredo, reach out to that brewery and let them know they need to come down to this market.
Yes.
And let them know that they need to reach out to all these different places that carry craft beer. And I guarantee you, man, these guys are they're scientists, they're experimentalists. They want to experiment new flavor and they want to showcase it to the rest of the world. And that's the reason that we did this whole thing today. I know we're already approaching an hour talking beer. I mean, it's that simple. But
chapter 2. Let's go on to the next hour. I'm having fun.
We're going Are we going chapter 2?
I don't know. Well, one thing I want to say is that when you start experimenting, we're experimenting all together. You know, we get new beers and people try it with us here. So that's what makes it real cool, is that we're all trying new beers together, man. All of us having a good time.
Absolutely, brother.
Listening to good music, just talking to each other, making friends,
meeting people.
That's the coolest part about this.
Meeting people with cool similar people, interests.
Yeah.
You know, one being beer. You know, to start off would be the beer that we all have that an interest in that. So that's awesome. You know, so and you know, people come in, hey, can you get this? Can you get that? And so some stuff's very difficult. Like you said earlier, you know, like it's the market here is still, you know, in its infancy per se. You know, it's still growing and it's tough. It really is tough. I can only imagine being a distributor and, you know, bringing down whatever list I gave him or anyone else, you know, that gave him, and like, fuck, man, like, if I bring it down, are they really gonna buy it? You know, is it gonna be worth our time to find a way to get that from there to here? Like, they got to think about logistics, you know, and then also, you know, if it sits there for a while, like, they're gonna lose money on that product, you know, and whatever. So, yeah, they take risks too, you know, but I think it's a risk worth taking. Absolutely.
Man, preach, brother. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I think that's the big thing, or the theme for today is really take a risk, you know, deviate from the norm, move away from what you're used to drinking, move away from what you're used to having all the time at all the same parties that you go to. If you feel like you're going to that, you know, that party, and I know it's very common for us to go to a party and they have the same type of beer and the same type of flavor, but we challenge you to always take risks and do it with your beer. Take risks, try different beers all the time. Real quick, so let's talk a little bit about this beer. I know it kind of got a little hot and we really didn't touch on it because we started talking culture and
I finished mine, man.
I know. Well, you're SOL, buddy. I still got a little bit.
Yeah.
But right out the gate, man, what is that aroma that you get? Whoa.
I get malts for sure. Next to citrus, and then I can smell the agave nectar. That's for sure. You taste the maize once you taste it.
That's what that is.
It's subtle. It's subtle.
And as the temperature comes down, ladies and gentlemen, that's another thing.
That's true.
As the temperature comes down, you're going to start to notice also, it also brings out a different flavor with your beer. Experiment with that as well.
Very true, actually.
Let it sit for just a little bit. Don't let it get hot, but just, you know, kind of like just a little bit cooler from ice cold. And you're going to start to notice that a lot of that flavor starts to come out a lot more from your beer. You start to taste a lot more of it.
The flavor profile definitely blossoms, that's for sure. And like you say, once it acclimates, you know, certain beers like stouts, you know, they shouldn't be served ice cold. You know, sometimes, I mean, I'm guilty as well for having it in this cold ass fridge back here. But I take into consideration that once it's in your hand, you know, for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes you to get to the halfway point of your beer. At that point, you might taste a difference if you're inclined to be able to pick out those characteristics. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is, I think, going to do it for us. Not for us completely, but that's going to do it for us right now. Okay, right now. We will be back with more Cultura Beer Garden. We'll be back with more beer for you guys to check out. We'll be visiting all of our friends around the city, talking about beer, talking about craft beer, and really just expecting your feedback and wanting to hear what you have to say. The other challenge that we're going to raise to you guys is obviously to come out to Cultura and come try these beers for yourself, whether it's the Goza. This is what is it again? The Sidewinder, and then of course the Black Lager from Guns and Oil. We invite you to come out, come talk to Chris, come talk to Benny, come talk to the family here, man. Very friendly. They've got the food trucks. If you want, just plug a little bit about what's going on this weekend. You've got Pop Rocks happening Thursday.
That's right.
Then Friday
we have the 5-0s playing here on Friday, and then Saturday we have our big. Beady Beady Bum Beer Pachanga, which is a tribute to Selena. We'll have that on Saturday, and movie showing. We'll have a movie screening of the movie, obviously, and then we'll have Pop Rocks playing some Selena favorites and some
anything
tunes.
for Salinas.
Anything for Salinas. That's right, guys. And
hey, that's a drink. Anything for Salinas.
Let me see what I come up with. Yeah.
I just came up with a drink.
We'll have some specialty drinks, for the non-beer drinkers, because also we do serve wine. We also have Moscatos. We do frosés as well. Now that the weather's getting hot, a frosé would go very well. So yes, absolutely look forward to that, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys.
Yes,
absolutely. So come out, Cultura Beer Garden,
3301 San Bernardo.
Mm-hmm. New location coming soon. You got anything to add, my friend?
I just want to say thank you for having us do this, man. It was
brother, cool. I had so much fun, man.
Like I said, man, I'm used to being behind the cameras. This is new to me, but it was cool. It was awesome, and
Benny got very shy.
Yeah. Well, we made him talk.
He did great.
He did great.
After
he did great.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Beer is a social thing. Before you know it, you forget about this little thing that you call your phone, and you remember, oh yeah,
you're making friends.
I can talk to this person next to me, and maybe it's a lot cooler than being on my phone and
it is, man.
scrolling
being a creep on your phone.
Yeah, a little creeper.
Go meet some chicks, or ladies. Go meet some men, do something.
Like
and as always,
or bring your dog over and talk to your dog while you drink a beer.
Pet friendly.
I do.
Cultura Beer Garden is pet friendly.
We are pet friendly, absolutely.
So yeah, keep Border Beer Fest in mind. 2018, it's coming. The announcement coming very, very soon. Other than that, man, big thank you to Cultura Beer Garden, to Chris and the staff here, and to Benny for joining us today, man. Border Beer Fest 2018 BBF TV. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna look and see if I can hit.
Shout out to all my friends singing out there. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Love y'all.